Hey everybody, how's it going? Welcome to NoDQ&A video once again here on NoDQ.com as well as the YouTube channel and NoDQ&A videos affiliate ringsidenews.com. Got your questions here regarding SummerSlam and other topics, so let's get started today with the first one from GNashed5. Hey Aaron, with the WWE making so many cuts due to budget issues, how can the WWE afford Sting? It seems like a lot of money invested into a part-time wrestler. Please answer in video. Well, that very well could be one of the reasons why we haven't seen Sting in a WWE ring yet. Perhaps WWE hasn't wanted to pay Sting the amount of money that he wants, and that has been an issue between the two sides when it comes to negotiating. But at the same time, I feel that Sting is well worth the investment. Sting is an all-time legend, and WWE has the network. With Sting coming back, I'm sure that will get people interested in WWE again, people that haven't watched in a long time, people that were WCW fans and haven't really followed WWE. They will tune in to see Sting, and perhaps those people will sign up for the network. So when it comes to nostalgia and perhaps getting older fans interested in current WWE, Sting is definitely a good investment, and he's going to be in the video game. He's got other deals with WWE in terms of action figures. So I think that it's worth it to bring him back, put him in the Hall of Fame, maybe have him come back for one more match so you can draw in those older fans that aren't necessarily following WWE right now and get them to spend money on WWE again. So, there is a solid reason to bring in Sting and pay the money for him, because the amount of money you can make back on your investment could be significant if it's done right. And the way WWE markets and how they portray Sting, if they make a big deal out of him, I think that they will make the money back that they spend on his contract. But it's just a matter of the two sides being able to come to the right deal, and I'm sure Sting is going to want his fair share. All right, this one comes from Andrew McInto. Hey Aaron, congrats with over 500 videos. How come we haven't seen Big Show in WWE lately? Is he injured, retired, or has he just quit? Please answer in video. Well, I think he was injured at one point, and WWE has been holding him off. He's actually appeared at recent shows. He showed up on Raw after the show ended, and he was also at the SmackDown taping for a segment that I believe is not going to air. He made this save for Dean Ambrose and laid out Randy Orton. So Big Show is around. I think it's just a matter of WWE finding something for him to do. And when the time comes, when there's a spot for him to come back, he'll be back. But there's no hurry to bring him back when there's no storyline plan for him and he doesn't really fit into a match on a big pay-per-view like SummerSlam. So, he will be back at some point, and I'm guessing maybe Night of Champions they'll fit him into something, but it's just a matter of getting him back into the storylines and bringing him back and having something for him to do rather than just bring him back for no reason without a major storyline. All right, this one comes from Chris Mace 39628. Please answer in video. How much longer do you see Big Show wrestling, and do you believe he is Hall of Fame worthy? Well, it does look to me like Big Show is starting to wind his career down. He hasn't been around quite as much. He hasn't been quite as active as he used to be, and that could be a sign that he is getting ready to wind down his career and wrap things up pretty soon. I could see him wrestling at least a couple more years. I mean, a lot of guys will wrestle as long as their bodies will allow them to wrestle. But Big Show's definitely getting up there. He's been around for a long time, and I could see him ending his career in the next couple years. As far as going to the Hall of Fame, absolutely. Big Show has had a tremendous career. I really feel that he is a guy who hasn't gotten enough credit. I mean, he has been in some memorable matches and storylines over the years, going back to WCW. And, he was very agile at the time in WCW. He was a guy who would jump off the top rope. He would throw drop kicks. He was very mobile in his early years for a big guy. And he was part of the NWO, and then he came into WWE and had some notorious feuds, like with the Big Boss Man. But, those feuds were entertaining. even the mid-card feuds. And, you know, I think a lot of the reason why he didn't reach his full potential is because WWE, despite claiming to know how to book giants, they didn't really book him properly as a giant. You know, he came into WWE and he jobbed out to Steve Austin on Monday Night Raw 1 month into his run. So you know, a lot of it has to do with how WWE booked him. You know, they would turn him going back between a heel and a face so many times it got ridiculous. So I mean, Big Show was definitely a victim of bad booking, in my opinion. But overall, I mean, I feel he's had a really memorable career, and he's done a lot. I mean, he has done, you know, he was the series giant, he did the comedy, he did whatever, you know, the writers wanted him to do, and I felt that he did well, and I you know, definitely should go into the Hall of Fame, no question. All right, this one comes from WWE fan Dark Era. Hey Aaron, what did you think of Tatanka joining the $1 Million Corporation? I thought that was a really entertaining storyline. You know, they were building up that Lex Luger was going to join up with Ted DiBiase and that he sold out. But then at the SummerSlam pay-per-view, it was Tatanka who was the one that sold out. So it was a nice little swerve, although at the time I felt that was coming. It felt to me like Tatanka was going to turn, and, you know, it was just too obvious that, you know, they were setting up Luger. But, you know, I thought the execution of it was really well done, and it was an entertaining storyline for the time. All right, this one comes from Caveman 37869. Hey, Aaron, what did you think of Heath Slater overall? And with a very impressive performance at Battleground and now a win over Seth Rollins, do you see him getting a push and maybe a chance to be US or IC champion? I don't really see any kind of big push for him. I think that the purpose behind him getting the win on Raw was so Dean Ambrose could get one over on Seth Rollins. I mean, Heath Slater could have been any guy on the roster, and he was the one that was picked for that role. You know, the guy that, you know, would stand no chance against Seth Rollins, which would make it all the more embarrassing when he got beat. So I think that was the purpose behind it. It's not the beginning of a big Heath Slater push. At least I don't think so. But, I mean, you never know. Maybe he will get a push, but odds are it's probably not going to amount to anything. All right, this one comes from RockyFan98. Please answer in next video. I saw that Batista says he is the worst babyface in history and wants to return to being a heel. Do you see him as one of the worst babyfaces? I mean, Batista did a good job as a babyface when he first turned against Triple H and won the title at WrestleMania. He had a good run as a babyface, but I definitely feel he does his best work as a heel. You know, the stuff he did in 2010 was tremendous. I figured when he made his comeback at the Royal Rumble, I figured he would be a babyface for that because I expected him to get a big babyface reaction because he had been gone for several years. But because of the whole Daniel Bryan situation and Batista being in the wrong place at the wrong time, the people booed him. So, you know, it was just bad timing. But, yeah, Batista, I feel he can go out there and he's not limited. When you're a babyface, you have to watch what you say. And as he mentioned in the interview, you know, you have to be politically correct. When you're a heel, you can say whatever you want, and you can just go out there and let your frustrations out. You know, a lot of people say it's easier to play a heel because you don't have the limitations of being a babyface and having to watch what you say and, you know, being all Mr. Goody Two-Shoes. So, yeah, I definitely feel Batista is better as a heel, and let him do what he enjoys doing. That's my take on it. So I feel he should come back as a heel. I know they have the whole storyline, you know, set with Triple H and Batista that they can do when Batista returns, but I would rather see Batista come back as a heel. All right, this one comes from Sam X. Final question for today, and this is technically a SmackDown spoiler, so if you do not want to be spoiled for SmackDown and SummerSlam, then see you guys next time for NoDQ&AV video. You can shut off the video. But anyways, here's the question from Sam X for the rest of you that want me to discuss this regarding Dean Ambrose and Seth Rollins. Spoiler, Ambrose and Rollins in a lumberjack match. Ambrose is supposed to be crazy and out for revenge, and he picks a lumberjack match. I was expecting a Hell in a Cell, street fight, or even a Falls Count Anywhere match. What are your thoughts on this? Well, I was hoping for a no DQ match so it would trend on Twitter again for me, but no. Seriously, yeah, I'm definitely disappointed with this stipulation. I've never been a big fan of lumberjack matches. Usually they're not that good. The guys are limited to being in the ring, and it's the usual storyline where the heels attack the babyface when he gets thrown out, and the babyface lumberjacks try to stop the heel from running away. It's the same thing every single match, and you know, not really big fan. I feel that these guys are going to be limited, and as you put out, you know, Dean Ambrose is looking for revenge, and he's going all crazy, and he's doing all sorts of unpredictable things. I would have rather seen like a Falls Count Anywhere match where these guys could just brawl all over the place. I mean, that's what we saw at the Battleground pay-per-view, and that seemed to be what WWE was building up towards, like some kind of match where, you know, these two guys are going to go all out, they're going to battle all over the place, and it's going to be a wild, unpredictable match. I'm guessing that they'll probably have that match at some point, whether it be at Night of Champions or Hell in a Cell. But yeah, I would have preferred. I would have rather had just a straight up one-on-one match than a lumberjack match. Let's put it that way. So yeah, not really happy about this stipulation, and it doesn't really make a lot of sense. All right, that'll do it for this edition of No DQ&A video. Thanks as always for watching. If you enjoyed this video, please share it on Facebook and Twitter. Tell a friend about No DQ&A video, and I will see you guys next time for more. And don't forget to subscribe to the WWE Network for $9.99 a month.